Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on my everyday makeup. This is the style that I usually do when I see clients, when I have coffee dates with friends, when I have a date night and that sort of thing. It usually takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to do, just depending on how much time I have. If I have more time, I'll take more time. If I have less time, then I'll obviously take less time. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I've already washed my face and used all of my Beauty Counter skincare products. So I'm going to start now by using my concealer. So this is PRIM, and I am currently using light medium. Sometimes I use something a little bit darker in the winter, in the summertime, but the light medium is perfect right now. So I'm just going to take this, put it underneath my eyes, and then I usually put it any other place I feel like I have any discoloration. I just kind of feel like I have it around my mouth a little bit, so I do that. And then I'm going to take my Mascara HAC brush and just blend this in. So I usually kind of tap it, because if you smooth it too much, if you're using this action, it kind of just moves it around instead of setting it exactly where you want it to set. So I'm just going to blend this out wherever I feel like I need it. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm gonna take and just blend the corners of that, and kind of not all over my face, but in the areas I feel like I need it. And then I'm gonna go over my lid as well, just with the residue that's on that brush. Okay, I feel pretty confident with that. Okay, so next step is powder. This is gonna be PRIM as well, and it's just the translucent powder. So I'm going to take a little makeup wedge, and I'm just going to set the areas that I've used with concealer, mostly underneath my eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to take another mascara brush. Like I said, I'm linking all of these, so I can't remember what this one's called. I think it's their powder brush, but I'm just going to put that over my face. I'm not putting powder on my eyelids, because when I go back in to do my shadow in a little bit, I want that to be a little bit wet from the concealer, because it's going to grab my eyeshadow, the pigment's going to pop better, and it also helps everything just stay put over the day. So I'm going to grab my this is a Sephora brush. I've had it forever and I absolutely love it. I think it was like an airbrush foundation brush or something like that, but anyway, I love it for my powder foundation. So again, I'm using PRIM, and this is Blonde Mineral Powder Foundation. I use the cream in the summertime. So I'm just gonna load up that brush really nicely and start applying this all over my face, like I said, with the exception of my eyelids. And then after I'm done that, I'm going to blend it down on my neck. So you don't want your neck to be lighter than the rest of your face. And then I'm going to take the little sponge that's inside. I'm going to go underneath my eyes, around my nose, and kind of anywhere else I feel like I need extra coverage, which, like I said, for me is usually around my mouth and my nose and stuff like that. But anyway, okay, so then I'm gonna take my PRIM again, and this is the Baked Finishing Powder in Satin Glow. And this is a MAC brush. I'll link what brush it is, but it's one of my favorite brushes. And I'm just gonna dust this mainly in my T-zone, on my cheeks, a little bit on my chin, and then down on my neck. What this does is it just gives me a little bit of glow, because I don't like a super matte face. I feel like it makes me look older. I feel like that's true for pretty much everybody. Okay, so after that, I'm ready to move on to eyes. So what I'm going to do for this look is I'm going to be using, this is my mascara palette. I absolutely love their palettes. They're amazing. I'll be linking that as well. So I'm going to be using Pink Water for my first color, and another mascara brush. So I'm going to be putting this in my crease and kind of slightly above. As I mentioned in my 5-minute face video, I have smaller, more hooded eyes, and if I don't put my mascara, if I don't put my eyeshadow above my crease, you can't see it, and then it doesn't really serve the purpose I want it to serve. I want it to open my eyes, and I also, you know, don't want to spend time on my eyeshadow and nobody will be able to see it. Okay, so for my second color, I'm going to be using Cedar, which is this one right here. I'm actually just going to use the same brush because they're not super different. If they were really different, then I would definitely go in and use a second brush. So I'm just going to blend this in the very corner of my eye. Okay, and then I'm going to take, I believe this one is Alabaster. If it's not, I apologize, and like I said, I'll make sure it's in the notes. So this is just going to go in the corner of my eye and then up on my brow bone. All right. What this does is it just, again, opens your eye. Okay, then I'm going to take the other end of my mascara brush. I was using this one. Whoop, drop. I'm going to use this end. And I'm going to take that pink water and I'm going to put it underneath my eyes. So I don't ever do eyeliner underneath my eyes or my client's eyes. I think the only exception, honestly, to that would be if I have a client who wants a really, really dark smoky eye, which almost never happens. But the reason why I don't do eyeliner underneath the eye is because it's just too harsh. So I always use eyeshadow. I typically on myself use a lighter shadow on the bottom. I don't like a super dark smoky eye for the most part, most of the time. But you know, you can use darker colors underneath the eye if you want a more eyeliner look, but it's just makes it so much softer, so much smoother, and just more flattering for your eye shape. So I hardly ever do eyeliner underneath the eye. Just use shadow. So I'm gonna take my mascara palette with all my gorgeous shadow colors. I'm gonna be using this one. I don't remember the name because I realized, oh no, wait, I got it. It's called Soulmate because I labeled them. I forgot I did. Okay, so I'm gonna take this brush, load up that palette, and this is just such a pretty shimmer color. And I'm using a tapping motion because with shimmers, you typically don't want to fluff around too much because it's going to go everywhere. And if you use a tapping motion, it's going to definitely give you a better deposit as well. So pretty. All right, I'm done with that. And then I'm going to take the same color, same brush. I did clean it off a little bit. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that underneath my eye. Okay, so I feel like that I'm seeing a little bit of fallout underneath my eye. So I'm just going to take my pad from my sponge from my powder foundation and go underneath my eye. All right. Okay, so now it's time for some eyeliner and mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. So I always do grab the root first and then just pump as I'm moving out to the end of the lash. And that'll give you a nice curl instead of a crimp. And I do it multiple times on each eye. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right, so I am gonna take my eyeliner. I usually use Prims, but I actually have this It Cosmetics that just won't quit. I've had it forever and it just keeps on, keeps on. So I'm using it still because I don't want to throw it away and be wasteful. But I'm gonna tightline my top of my eye. I always do this for pretty much any makeup look that takes longer than about 5 minutes. Basically what it does is it just makes your lashes look thicker, which I need because I have really short, thin lashes, and I feel like it frames eyes really nicely. I'm gonna do that, and then sometimes I'll stop at this makeup look. Let me get those little dots off my face. Sometimes I'll stop at this eye look, just do mascara and call it a day. But sometimes I do add liquid liner on. I do use the PRIM felt tip liner in black. So I'm going to do that for you guys today just so you can see. But like I said, a lot of times I don't do this. It's just like an extra step if I want to be a little bit more fancy. I might do it for like a date night or if I have an event to go to. But I just lined the very outer corners of my eyes. So I have to practice a lot at this. If I don't do it for a while, I'll have to get back in the groove because it's hard. And I do pull my skin just a little bit. I think that's primarily because that's what I do with my clients. And I feel like it helps the application go along a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to close my eye. I'm going to bring it onto my lid just a little bit more. Same thing on the other side. When I do my liquid liner, I do usually take a while with it, which is one of the reasons why I don't do it every single time I do my makeup. Because I'm a perfectionist and I can't have it looking bad. Okay, I feel like that's good enough for today. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my mascara. So I've had them soaking in water so that they will get nice and unclumpy. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Voluminous Lash Paradise. And I love mascara, so I'm going to be using a lot of it. So I'll go over 2 or 3 times with the Lash Paradise, just depending on how much time I have or how perfect I want my lashes to be. So Lash Paradise is a little bit, it's a little bit more clumpy, like it's more for like volume than length. And then this one is the Butterfly, but it's still voluminous. They're both L'Oreal. But this one is more of a lengthening mascara. So I like both of them because I like fullness and length. And if I use one or the other, I feel like I don't get both of those things. And I like this one's a little plastic brush instead of the synthetic bristles. I feel like this one separates my lashes a lot better than the other one. They tend to get really clumpy. So I'm going to go back with the Lash Paradise one more time. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the other eye, starting again with the Lash Paradise. I need another tube of this. It is almost out. So I kind of wiggle my brush a little bit when I'm doing this. Okay, Butterfly again. Okay, Lash Paradise one more time. I always leave my bottom lashes for after my top lashes dry, because if I look up right now to do my bottom lashes, these lashes touch right up here and then I get those little dots. So if that's something that you have a problem with, just wait for your lashes to dry until after you've done your brows or whatever else you have to do, and then go back and do them. afterward. So I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm using PRIM Precision Brow Pencil. And I'm just going to go in and I kind of make a little line underneath both just to even them out on the top, on the bottom, and then I'll work from there. I never work on one brow. As you can see, I'm going back and forth. That's something I learned in makeup artistry school, like so long ago, but it's something that's definitely stuck with me. My teacher told us that if you work on one side of the face completely and then you go to the other, or just one element, so if you're doing eyeliner or you're doing blush or whatever, if you do one first and then do the other, they're going to look different. But if you go a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, you get a much more even uniform look. And it's so true. It's true in microbleeding too. I've definitely applied that. That's what my school taught, but when they were teaching us that, I was like, thankfully they're doing that, because that's what I would have had to do. Go back and forth. It just makes your brain work so much better when you do that. Okay. So I don't know if you've noticed, but one of the things I think that I do that might be different than a lot of everyday people who aren't makeup artists is building. So you're starting and you're just doing a little bit at a time. I feel like that provides such a better result than if you try to just achieve it in one swoop. It just gives your eyes time to adjust to it and figure out exactly how much more you really need to add. And it just gives it better, more natural appearance. Okay, so this is the brow ink by PRIM. It just fills in a little bit more. Sometimes I do use this just by itself, but I usually use a brow pencil with it too. Okay, so it's time for contour. Where is my contour palette? There it is. Okay, so I have been using the Morphe Glitterati. I really like it a lot. I'll show you. It's really gorgeous. So I'm going to use a mascara brush. Again, don't remember what it's called, but I'll link it. So I'm going to start by doing my cheeks. So I typically like my contour to be a little bit more on the natural side. I don't like it to be super, super chiseled and dark. I typically like that for my clients as well. Unless somebody just requests something that's really on the more dramatic side. So I'm going to go underneath my jawline as well. And I want to blend that down a little bit because you don't want it to be super dark and harsh. Okay, side of nose. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to leave the highlight part for after I do my blush. So I do blush. I'm going to do PRIM. This is Adobe. I'm going to do this on the apples of my cheeks and up on my cheekbone. I'm going to blend it with that contour again because I don't like it to be, really soft. Okay, and then I'm going to take PRIM and Teaberry. I'm going to put it right on the apples of my cheeks. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to take the highlighter, use the other side of that brush, and just put it right here. Just a little bit, I don't like a lot. Bridge of my nose, a little bit here, and a little bit on the chin. Okay, now I'm gonna go back and do mascara on my bottom lashes. Sometimes I go back to the top and just do a little bit more. Yep, perfect. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I am gonna do lipstick as well. That photo that I posted, the little teaser that I posted last week, I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you did, the only thing I had on my lips in that photo was just Carmax. Let me get it. It's this one here. I use this one all the time, and I absolutely love it. I do like to put it on before I put lipstick on, otherwise my lips are really dry. So I have it on already, and this is PRIM and Frenemy. I know you saw me wiping here. Whenever I'm using a liquid lipstick, I like to wipe it off on there because it's usually super heavily pigmented. I know mine are. And if you get too much on your lips, it doesn't look very good. So I'm going to do that, and then let me get my lip liner. This is PRIM and Ballet. And I'm just going to go outside the line of my lip just a tiny bit. I actually need to sharpen this. Sorry, I had to take a break there to try to find a pencil sharpener, which apparently I don't have here. Must be in my kit somewhere. Anyway, it's not a big deal. So I normally would just kind of outline my lips a little bit outside my natural line, but I'm going to use my lipstick to do that instead. It's just a little easier with the lip liner. I don't like to go a lot outside my natural line, but I do like to go just a little bit. Mainly just on the top. I feel like my top lip is a little bit disproportionate to the bottom. And I don't think it's obvious until I put lipstick on. Like, I think it's fine if I don't have lipstick on, but. And then I'm going to use PRIM and Skinny Dip Luxury Lip Gloss. And I just use it absolutely tiny, tiny bit of that because I don't like. So that's my everyday face, guys. Super simple. I know I took longer today than I normally do, but honestly, if I sit down at my desk and I do everything, it takes me 15 to 20 minutes to get this look. I can probably do it in less than that if I really hustle, but I usually have 15 to 20 minutes to spend on my makeup in the morning, so, you know, I do that if I can. But anyway, I'm going to link all the products that I use down below. If you have any questions about any of them, just let me know, or if there's one that I missed or anything like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you learned some stuff. Have a great day. Bye.